Welcome everyone. Today's practice is all about activating the power that lives within us, aligning the body with the mind and spirit so that as we work to build power in the body, we bring greater power to our mind and to our spirit. In the body, one of the places that holds our strength are these muscles right here, the muscles of the quadricep or the thighs. And we have the hamstrings, which are the muscles of the back thighs. And so we'll be doing work here, and I guarantee you we will feel that activation. So remember, yoga is all about where you are today. Do a little at a time. I'll show you different progressions, and over time, these muscles will build in strength. So have your chair nearby. As a matter of fact, I'm going to ask you to take a seat for a moment in a nice sturdy chair. I'm sitting a little bit away from my chair, but if you need that support, you can sit back. And so before we begin, let's just explore what these muscles feel like when they are activated. So I invite you to lift up just slightly, either leg, doesn't matter, and push away your heel. Hold your hand right there on your thigh. Pull your heel in, push it out. Do you feel this muscle contracting? Do you feel it holding strong? You can put that foot down and shake it out. Let's try it on the other side, because as with everything in the body, one side may feel a little bit different than the other. So holding on, touching here, your thigh, give it a little love, a little massage. Lifting that knee so that your foot is off the floor. Kicking your heel away, bringing it back. Kicking your heel away. Do you feel that muscle in your leg contracting? Do you feel it being strong to allow your leg to move forward and back? And you can put that down and shake it out. Those are the muscles that we will be working on. They are the power muscles. So to activate that power within us as beautiful spirits, let's do a little bit of activating our legs. So moving your chair slightly to the side. As a matter of fact, the first pose is called chair pose, and there are two ways to do it. So I'll show you both, and then you'll find the one that works for you. You need a piece of wall, something that gives you enough room to lean up against it. So pause the video if you need to. Move yourself to a place where you have a nice blank wall to stand up against, and then come back. All right, so coming up against this wall, and for a moment just standing, you want to feel the cheeks of your butt up against the wall. And as we move, you'll feel your shoulder blades come close to the wall. It's okay if they're not there yet. What I would ask you to please do very slowly is move your body down the wall. Your butt cheeks stay glued to the wall. You're bending your knees, coming down. Feet are flat against the floor. All four corners of your feet come in contact with the floor. And maybe you stop right here. If it feels comfortable, let your head come back against the wall. Shoulder blades, hands or not, or you can keep your hands here on your thighs. Now, depending on how much strength you feel, you can walk your feet a little further away from the wall, but you don't need to, because we're going to be hanging out here for a moment. So walk back in if that feels like it's a little too much. Find that sweet spot for you. And let's just rest here for a moment. Now, sometimes when we're activating a muscle, we can feel like, oh, will this never end, Rosemary? Get me out of this. Okay, so let's walk our feet back in. standing up straight, and let's give that a good shake. We're going to try it once more, just for a moment. So standing with your butt cheeks against the wall, feet are flat on the floor, coming down the wall, moving the feet out just a few steps, all four corners of your feet in contact with the floor, your shoulder blades back against the wall, your head, if that feels comfortable, your hands can be against the wall or in your lap. And maybe while we're here and you're taking deep breaths, maybe we'll just twirl our hands in one direction, twirl our hands in the other direction, whatever feels good and takes our mind off the fact that we're working these muscles very hard. One more breath here. Hands against the wall, and slowly bring your feet back in and shake that out. When we work these quadriceps, these front thigh muscles, let's do something to counterbalance because what a muscle does, it contracts when you, and you don't need to remember this, but it contracts when you are strengthening it. So we need to do a movement that will help elongate it again. And for that, just standing by your chair or by the wall, and basically all we will do is kick our heel behind us a few times. And what that does is it's stretching out the front thigh muscle as we use the back thigh muscle to bring our heel in the air. And do it on the other leg, just kicking your butt a few times. Okay. Now I said to you there's another way to do chair pose. This one could feel a little more, a little more challenging to your lower back. So that's why we also have the option against the wall, which is a little easier on the back. So you need your chair for chair pose. And what we will do, I'll show you from the side. Just watch for a moment first. So you're standing straight. Your posture is tall and dignified, but not rigid. And for chair pose, you are going to sit back as though you were getting ready to sit in a chair. And you do it just to the place where you feel your thigh muscles engaging. There's something to be very careful about in your alignment. You don't want your knees to be out over your toes, so you're sitting back. And you also don't want to be arched in your back. Think about pulling your navel in. So you're finding that spot where you have a straight spine and you're sitting back. Just stand for a moment, straighten out your knees, shake that out. We'll try it again so I can show you some variations. So hands on the chair, take a nice deep breath here. And as you exhale, sitting down in your imaginary chair, remember that the knees are over the toes. You might even lift your toes ever so slightly off the ground, but you don't have to. And remember to pull in your navel so that you're not sticking your butt so far out that your back is arched. And if it feels comfortable, taking one hand away from the chair, taking the other hand away from the chair, bringing both hands into your heart for one deep breath. Hands back to the chair, standing, and shake that out. Let's do just a few butt kicks on each leg. Do you feel the activation in your quadriceps, in your thighs, those power muscles? They say that, especially as we age, we want these muscles to stay very strong so that we can do a lot of the activities that bring us so much joy in life, like bending down to pick up a grandchild. You need some power to do that. And our final pose today is one of my favorites, Goddess and Star pose, because it really asks us to think about the goddess that we are. And so taking your feet a little wider than hip distance apart, turning the feet out, and so the knees naturally turn out with it, arms are in cactus. To activate goddess pose, we bend a little bit in both knees until you feel the activation of your thigh muscles, and then we straighten. Again, just bending and straightening. The arms, the elbows come in as you bend, and they just come back up as you straighten, so they follow what the legs are doing. We inhale as we come down into goddess. Exhale as we release. Inhale and exhale. Star pose is to form the shape of a star. So if you have difficulty with your shoulders, perhaps your star looks just like this. Your legs are straight, but don't lock them. Keep a little bend in the knees, and your arms come out to the side. If you don't have any issues with your shoulders, you can always bring your arms up a little bit higher, whatever feels comfortable in your body today. And so we come into goddess, bending the knees, elbows come in. And as we stand, we stretch the arms into a star. Again, we inhale as we come into goddess, and we exhale as we come into star. Perhaps the chin can come up ever so slightly. This also will work your balance. Inhale into goddess. Exhale, star. Few times on your own breath. You've worked these muscles quite a bit today, activating a lot of power. Let's come down into goddess, and for a moment, just staying here, just feeling the power in your legs, the power in your goddess self. Take a deep breath here. Oh, and let it out. One more deep breath in. And as you exhale, coming up into your star, maybe the chin lifts a little, reaching for the stars. Take a breath here. And exhale and let it go. Oh, and just move your body a little bit from side to side, however it feels good for you. Let's come into our mountain pose. Just both feet side by side, about hip distance apart. Feet are facing forward. Roll the shoulders up and back and down. Holding on to your chair, or perhaps you don't need to, but I would ask you to either close your eyes or have a soft gaze for a moment. Taking a breath here and just acknowledging your powerful goddess self, and remembering that no matter your age, no matter your shape or size, you can always reach for your stars. And opening your eyes. Whenever you feel powerless, doing a few of these power poses can remind you of that inner strength that we all have. And so we close our practice by bringing our hands into a prayer position at the heart, showing some love to our powerful selves. we wish each other namaste. The light that lives in me honors and recognizes the light that lives in each of you. All the beautiful goddesses, I wish you a powerful day. Thank you.